Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to host this section of the conversation where we're really going to be highlighting the stellar work of two of the organizations who are currently contributing towards gender transformation work in the livestock sector. Both of these organizations will be hosting conversations in the new year through the Gender and Livestock Community of Practice within the LD4D network. And today they're really here to give you a little bit of a taste of what they're doing, really to pique your interest, as we would love to extend that invitation out to those of you who have not participated in our Gender and Livestock Community of Practice. And we'd love to invite you to join the conversations in January and March, where we're really going to be focusing on what are the opportunities that exist within the livestock sector to really integrate gender considerations with that goal to really transform the lives of women, men, and boys and girls through the work that we do as a sector. So this next year, we'll be really working to surface what are some of those sticky questions connected to data in the gender and livestock space, with the hopes that we will be a part of future solutions groups, as well as host a really gender-focused solution groups to really address some of these challenges. So we're excited for the next year as well. So to kick us off, I'd love to welcome two partners involved in the community of practice. And they'll be sharing about 5 minutes each, just to give a bit of a taste of what they're doing. So please welcome both Tanager and Ripple Effect. So from Tanager, we have Dr. Catherine Macharia-Mutie, and she's a public health nutrition development professional at Tanager, and currently is the deputy team lead for the Impacting Gender and Nutrition through Innovative Technical Exchange in Agriculture Plus, which in short is Ignite Plus. And that is a program implemented by Tanager based in Kenya. The second presentation will be from Sofanit Mesfin, who's with Ripple Effect, and she is the Gender and Social Inclusion Lead at Ripple Effect, based in Addis Ababa. I'm too many buzz. Sofanit really has a deep commitment to social impact, and in 2015 that was really solidified through her volunteer work with Ripple Effect, and has since then been working with them deeply to build some gender transformative tools. She has really put her financial expertise to creating hope and meaningful change for communities in need connected to the livestock sector. So I'd love to invite Catherine to kick us off. Catherine, over to you.
Thank you very much, and it's good to be here. So I'm gonna speak very briefly about Tanager and the work that we do with gender, and specifically in the livestock value chain. And Tanager is an affiliate of ACDI VOCA, part of the AV group, headquartered in the US. Next slide. So we have had different projects in different parts of the world, and I have highlighted a few projects here as part of the work we do to empower people and to support their economic and social opportunities. We have recently completed part of the work at the African Poultry Multiplication Initiative. We are currently implementing Ignite Plus, as Julie has mentioned. We just completed a 6-year piece of work in Ignite. We have another project in Burkina Faso, Celebi, again in phase 2. We have been on this since 20, we're in the third, fourth year of the second phase. And these 3 projects basically looking at issues on gender, women's empowerment, but really working in the poultry value chain, but also other livestock value chains such as dairy. But we also have other projects that we have implemented in Kenya, in Asia, Bangladesh, through our affiliate company, ACDI VOCA. This is Livestock Market Systems Activity and Livestock Production for improved nutrition, and that's why I've labeled them in blue, because they have been done by ACDI VOCA. But the reason why I bring them here on board is because within our technical learning, we collaborate very closely. And so we share part of the work we do. Next slide. So I want to speak very briefly about Ignite, which is impacting gender and nutrition innovative technical exchange. Basically, it's a TA project, technical assistance project, which we offer technical assistance on gender and nutrition integration to African agricultural institutions. So we support many of these institutions who basically would be working on the area of productivity and economic empowerment, but also to support them to think about how their work has effect on, for example, the nutrition outcomes, but also the gender aspects of their work. And having done this work for the last 6 years, we worked with about 35 institutions within Africa. And out of these, 22 of them, we actually worked with them for a period of 2 to 5 years. So again, it's usually a very long-term engagement because you work with the institutions at both the institutional level, where you're working on policies, strategies, staff development, and capacity building for staff, but also in M&E. And I want to specifically speak around data and M&E. Some of these institutions, we have worked with 12 clients so far, 12 institutions, to revise their M&E framework so that they are able to better capture the impact of gender and nutrition initiatives within both APMI and Ignite Plus projects, but also supporting 2 institutions to develop dashboards to visualize their gender data. And these 2 results are really based on the premise of within the TA, we have domains that we follow, and one of them is M&E. How do you collect data? What data do you collect? But then the next domain is how do you use data? How do you use it for learning? And so it's important that beyond data collection, that then this data is also used for decision making. And this is one of the areas that we support ag institutions, those working in livestock, but also in crop. So I will not limit myself to just livestock, but we also those that are in ag, in crop development. Next slide. Within Celeve, we work again. This is a direct implementation project where we work directly with around 120 beneficiaries, of which 50% are women, and we seek to improve, the efficiency around poultry ecosystem, increase women's economic empowerment. So you working with women not just as producers or as poultry rearers, but supporting them to work through the value chain, such that we have even women vaccinators along the value chains. But of course, most importantly, increasing the equitable consumption of healthy and nutritious foods, which is a core of every work that we do, even as we are within the livestock value chain, thinking about how do you communicate your data, how do you communicate your work from a nutrition side of things, but also from a gender side of things. And so basically these 2 kind of projects are really helpful, kind of helping us to see what is it we do within gender and livestock. And we're looking forward to actually be able to have a longer conversation where we can share with you a little more of our work at the Ignite Plus. And in January, we'll be hosting a community of practice. So please welcome and join us. And so we'll tell you more, a little more on what we've done under the Ignite Plus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. So I just popped a question in the chat for those. I'm super interested to hear from people. How many of you really would find it valuable within your current or future programming to have access to this type of technical support in MEL and dashboards to really increase your understanding as a program or an organization of the gendered impact of your work? And what programs do you think might benefit from Tanager's work or a partnership with Tanager? So just throwing that in the chat. You're welcome to not only leave questions for our presenters, but also respond to the questions I throw in the chat. And I have one for each of our presentations. This is my first one. So with that, I'd love to transition and talk with our Ripple Effect colleagues. So Sofanit Mesfin, who is the head of, or the lead on gender and social inclusion within Ripple Effect, to talk to us a bit about some of the tools they use in their work across the board. So excited to hear from you. Over to you, Sofanit.
Thank you, Julie. So I'm Sofanit, and just to say a few words about Ripple Effect. Formerly, we were known as Sendeka. We have 30 years of experience working with farming communities in rural Africa, and we work in 6 African countries. As you can see in the map, we are present in Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and also we work through partner in Zambia, and we have our area of expertise are 3: gender and social inclusion, sustainable agriculture, and enterprise development. And we work with women. We have a focus on working with people with disabilities and also integrating youth in our work. Next slide. And this is a pathway to our a pathway to our work related to gender equality. So we do implement the twin track approach, where we try to address the concerns related to men and women in every project that we implement, but we also do some specific activities related to women empowerment. And as a mechanism of change, we integrate the concerns of men and women in all policies and projects, but we also do work related to empowering women. And as a goal, we will achieve gender equality, and we are intentional about empowering all women and girls within our work. Next slide. And like I said, within the twin track approach, we try to address the gender issues related to our projects, and we use our own gender transformative approach. It's called a transformative household methodology. It's a tool that we ourselves created by combining 2 existing tools. It's a very easy participatory gender transformative tool that involves all family members, and we use this tool and adapt it to any context so that we can address gender issues within different contexts, including gender issues within the livestock. And it's a very interesting tool, and we use it in all our projects, and we will talk about more on this tool and how we created it and what we do with it in the coming community of practice. Next slide. And we also collect gender disaggregated data when it comes to livestock. So like I said, we do implement our gender transformative tool, which help us to address the gender issues. And we do collect gender disaggregated data to see how we address the gender issues within the livestock and the change that we are able to bring. So this is a sample of one of our projects where you can see how the gender issues have progressed. So we try to measure the involvement of women related to decision making related to livestock, and we try to collect this data on yearly basis. So we do it at baseline, and we collect this kind of data until the end line so that we can see the progress we are making related to gender and livestock. Thank you. That will be end of my presentation. But if you want to learn more about our work, come and join us for the community of practice, where we will be talking about the tool and how we collect this kind of data and the kind of impact that we are seeing within our work. And the community of practice will be on March. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sofanit. Again, I've popped a question in here connected to Sofanit's presentation that you're welcome to answer in the chat. You're also welcome to ask further questions to our presenters as we go throughout. Everybody's watching the chat, so if you want to have a little back and forth. But my question about Ripple Effects work is, if you had access to a data generation tool like this that can be used at design phase, baseline, midline, endline, and gets you quick, reliable information about the gender division of labor at a household level connected to the value chain work you're doing, how might you use it in your current and future work, right? How would this tool be useful to you? So would love to hear people's thoughts in the chat, or read people's thoughts in the chat, and please do ask more questions. So again, we're pounding it into you. Come enjoy conversations with us in the community of practice, but not just conversations, dialogue, really headed towards solutions, right? We're looking for opportunities. We're going to spend this next year really looking at what are some of those sticky questions that we think as a broader LD4D community that we might be able to give some solutions to that are cross-organizational and really make some impact. So come join us. Let's have conversations about opportunities and solutions.